everyone. This video is going to go over paragraph C and the BCA, also known as the Broker Compensation Advisory, that is mentioned on the residential listing agreement in paragraph C. So it literally reads, compensation, notice the amount or rate of real estate commissions is not fixed by law. They are set by each broker individually and may be negotiable between seller and broker. See Broker Compensation Advisory, Form BCA. Basically, this paragraph is once again reiterating that commissions are not fixed by law and that it's negotiable. If you use zip forms to pull your residential listing agreement, the BCA will automatically be bundled with it. If you use an outside source from that, you'll want to verify that it also bundles that document with it. If not, you'll have to manually add it in. The purpose of the BCA is simply to help agents explain the broker compensation to clients. With all the changes that have happened, it's really a good guide on how to work through that conversation when you go to a listing presentation with the seller of how compensation is going to work. It's 2 pages and it's going to have a whole bunch of information in it, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit more in a second. Card did come out with like a fact sheet, and that is the link you see down below here that you are encouraged to review and possibly include, with your listing presentation if you need even more kind of bulleted, quick information of what the form is. So moving on, the BCA is really broken down into 3 main paragraphs, and then those are broken down even more. So the first one, once again, compensation is negotiable. That is what 1A is going to discuss. 1B is going to discuss that there may be an additional commission to the listing broker for unrepresented buyers. This is still fully negotiable, and it redirects the listing broker to use the BNA, which is a buyer non-agency form, in those situations. Paragraph 1C is going to discuss dual agency, and then it goes into paragraph 2. And that's going to go over broker agreements with buyers. It's great to still go over all this with sellers so that they understand what they may see on offers, as well as it's great if they become a buyer themselves. So 2A, again, buyer broker compensation is fully negotiable. They really want to drive home the fact that compensation is fully negotiable. 2B, it's going to discuss written agreements are required. You get a written agreement, the listing agreement with the seller. There's now going to be a written agreement that's required between the buyer and their agent. I'll go into more details on that agreement for the state of California in a different video. Paragraph 2C is going to discuss the advantages of written agreements for buyers. Paragraph 3 is going to discuss when a buyer enlists the help of a real estate agent, the buyer agrees to pay them at closing. However, the person responsible for the payment is a negotiable term during the transaction. You'll see this when we go over the offer and the buyer broker agreements. I'm not going to go over it here. 3A is going to discuss the buyer broker agreement. 3B discusses how the buyer can negotiate with the seller for the seller to cover some or all of the owed commission. And 3B2 discusses how a buyer's agent may negotiate directly with the seller when a seller is unrepresented. You may know it as a FSBO, for sale by owner, and it's going to talk about kind of looping in another form, the SP, which is a single party compensation agreement that the buyer's broker would want to get with the seller. And paragraph C is going to discuss the changing practice related to compensation. And remember, this is something that has gone nationwide. Each state may have their own versions, but compensation is completely negotiable, and compensation is no longer a negotiable term at the listing agreement. It's for buyer's agents. It will be negotiable once you kind of start getting your offers and going through them. If you have any questions on paragraph C or the BCA, feel free to drop them in comments or send me a DM. I'm more than happy to help you.